to keep your kitchen clean while you cook. That way, after you're done cleaning, it will look just the same way as when you started. The first thing you're going to want to do is clear off your counters, clean off your counters. You can watch my video on how to organize your kitchen so you can have clean counter space to work with. Any dishes that are in the sink, make sure you unload and load your dishwasher. If possible, have your dishwasher free of any dishes. That way you could put dishes straight into the dishwasher. Next, I'm going to fill my sink with hot water. You put a plug in the bottom, fill it with some hot water, and put some dish soap in here. And then you're just going to let that sit. I have my gloves ready, so after you're done with your dishes, they're going to go straight into the soapy water. Next, I take a dish rag. I'm just going to lay it on the counter here. If you hand wash your dishes, you're going to want to get your dish rack out, and you can set it next to your rag. I get my cookbook out, and I put it in my cookbook holder. I'm going to kind of put it back so I have an area to work with here. I'm making some cheesy potatoes. What you want to do is you're going to read through the entire recipe. That way you'll know what's coming up next, and you're not doing anything you're not supposed to. It's always better to read through the recipe first. After reading through the recipe, I know that I'm going to need a KitchenAid. I also need to set the oven for 350 degrees. Got out my chop-in store. This is a really cool tool. It has a place where you can chop on here, and then you can slide it through to go into these little compartments. So you can put onions in here, peppers, and whatever other items that you need. And if you need to store it in your refrigerator and save it for later, you could do that as well. You need a half a cup of minced onion or finely chopped onion. So what I'm going to do is cut the onion. So I cut my onion into little cubes like this, and I'm going to put them in my Chef Pro. If you have some kind of onion press, that works well too. If you're doing meat or anything that has any sort of packing, make sure that the packing goes straight into the trash after you used it. That way it's not cluttering any of your countertop. I have my onions in here. I'm just going to. So now that my onion is all chopped, this handle comes off and it's clean. I don't need to wash this. So I'm going to put it away. But this lid now has some onion on it. So now that my sink is clean, it's actually just this bottom part that's dirty. So I can just clean this bottom part. I'm going to rinse it off. And set it on my drying rack. The blade that's in here, I'm now actually going to just rinse a little bit and put it straight into the dishwasher. Since it's sharp, I don't really want to work my hands around it. Everything else that's in here, I need half a cup. My onion into my measuring cup. I only needed half a cup. I'm going to set this aside. I still have some onion in here. I'm just going to rinse this all out. I keep the left side of my sink, there's no water or anything in here. That way I can rinse off any of the food that's on any of the Tupperware off. That way I'm not getting it into this clean water over here. Now I'm just going to set this bowl in the soapy water. Done with chopping. Once you're done with cutting stuff, you can now wash your cutting board, your knife. Just set it in the soapy water. This only has one dirty side on it, so it's easy for me to just rub off on that one side. Clean it off. Keep a wet paper towel over here so I can just kind of clear off this counter a little bit and push it off to the side. This recipe called for a 30-ounce bag of string hash browns or Ida. So I'm just going to put this my cream of chicken and a stick of margarine. So I'm just going to put this whole stick in. Wrapper can immediately be thrown away after you do the cream of chicken. Obviously I use a spoon to get it out, and then the can be thrown away. It also calls for 1 pint of sour cream. The spoon I just used to get out the cream of mushroom soup, all I need to do is just rinse it off under the water and it's clean. So I can actually use it to finish taking out any of the excess sour cream that's in here and add it to here. If you have a utensil that you are using for something and you need to use it for something else, it's easy to just rinse it off under the water and you could reuse it. Now that I emptied the sour cream, this can be thrown away. And the spoon, I don't need it anymore, so now I can just rinse it off and put it straight into the dishwasher. Put in my onion. After I add the onion, I just need 8 ounces of cheddar cheese. So the same thing that I put the onion in, I'm just adding the cheese in here. Then you just mix all the ingredients together. I'm done with this measuring cup, so I'm just going to rinse it out. And put it straight into the dishwasher. I need to put some cheese on the casserole once I put it into the pan, so I'm just going to leave the cheese out. I have my pan out. I just need to spray it. And then this goes right back into my pantry. I'm done mixing, so now I'm just going to take this part off, rinse it off a little bit. I'm going to put the casserole into my baking dish, and I'm just using spatula. It actually came out pretty clean. So I used my spatula to smooth out the casserole into the dish. So I'm done with my spatula. I can just rinse it off and put it straight into the dishwasher. This pan I can now rinse off. But I hand wash all my pans. Anything that's metal, I'll hand wash. Especially like stainless steel or any potted pans. So I don't want any of that junk to get into this clean water. So I now put that in here. Now I can just put the extra cheese that I have and put it on top of the casserole. You need to throw any trash immediately away. Now that my casserole is done, I can put it straight into my oven and set the timer for 45 minutes. Done with my cookbook, so my cookbook can go away as well as my cookbook stand. Now that my countertops are clear here, I just take that extra rag that I have that has a little water and just wipe down the counter. Tab are the dishes that are in my soapy water. So all I have to do is hand wash the couple dishes that I have in here. Which is really easy to do. You think it's really hard to hand wash something, but it actually just takes a few seconds to clean one item. All clean. Go straight into the rinsing water. And straight onto my rag to dry. I'm with my gloves. I don't like them on the sink. I think it looks cluttered, so I put them in my drawer. It has a fridge liner in it, so it doesn't get the drawer all messy. These dishes that are drying, if they're dry, you could put them straight away, or you can use an extra rag. Just wipe them off. Now that the dishes are away, this rag can just be hung back up onto my rack here. Countertop's all clean. You quickly wipe it down and you're done.